Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. It is Monday, July the 9th, 2018. And a very uneventful go-home show for Extreme Rules took place on tonight's Monday Night Raw from Beantown, from Boston, Massachusetts, Beantown. And I feel like I ate a whole fucking bowl of beans and have a tremendous amount of gas, because outside of the main event or anything having to do with Dolph Ziggler or Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre, Monday Night Raw is an absolute complete waste of fucking time, and we are going to tell you why right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, and Podbean, baby. It's the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me, as always, is the world's greatest tag team, Thor the Sledgehammer, the wrestling god of thunder, and the official sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. My little buddy, my most trusted companion, and the world heavyweight champion of microphones, Mr. Blue the Snowball. This is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's official Monday Night Raw review. And why am I gonna get mad? Am I surprised? Should I be fucking surprised at the piece of shit show that we got tonight? Essentially, we have gotten for the last 4 weeks the same exact show, just kind of tweaked a little bit here and there to appear different to the casual eye. But this show is a piece of garbage. You want to start this show with a pull-apart brawl. A pull-apart brawl between boring Trashley and everybody's favorite Samoan, Roman Reigns. In a match that means nothing, there's nothing at stake but pride between these two men. Who gives a shit about their pride? Who gives a shit about this match? You got Cole and Graves and Coachman selling this match like it's the biggest thing that has ever happened in the history of professional wrestling. You want to have them try so hard to come off well on the microphone to sell this, and nobody's buying what you're selling. Nobody. You have the entire roster of superstars come out to try to pull these two jackasses away from each other in a very unconvincing way. And most of these guys that came out for that pull-apart brawl, they were very excited about this because this was the most we've seen, most of them, throughout the entire year. When have we been seeing the Authors of Pain? That's a team that shouldn't have even been out there. What about the Authors of Pain would make them give 2 fucks about Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley beating the shit out of each other outside in the ring? They would sit back there and watch. They should be just standing aside and laughing at these two jerk-offs. Bobby Roode. What interest does he have in this? Why is he out there pulling people apart? This is where you throw all the jobbers. So you're telling me that Authors of Pain are jobbers? You're telling me Bobby Roode is a jobber? Finn Balor is a jobber? Constable Corbin is out there trying to pull things up. Now, okay, you want to say, well, they need to have an authority figure out there. He's a bullshit authority figure. Angle's the authority figure. Constable Corbin means nothing, and the fact that he was put out there means he means nothing. He's out there with No Way Jose and Mojo Rawley and The Ascension, all to get flattened by a Roman Reigns dive over the top rope as he does his best impression of Michael Jordan. Diving through the air like a maniac. Taking out the whole field of superstars just to get at Bobby Lashley. Bravo, Mr. Reigns, you can fucking jump. Who cares? There is nothing at all that is even mildly appealing about this feud. I don't understand what Vince McMahon is looking at. why he is seeing this and hearing the people in the crowd throughout this build. And don't fucking tell me that the crowd was into it. It's a fight. Alright? People get amped when they see two people fighting. That could have been a one-armed chimp versus a parrot. And the crowd would have reacted the same fucking way. You could have put Bo Dallas in there with anybody. Bo Dallas and Curtis Hawkins. Fuck it. Let's go real bottom of the barrel. You put them in a pull-apart brawl on Raw, people are going to get into it. They're going to get amped. But what good was this? What good did this do? It made me even less interested. You sacrifice a whole Raw roster and the first 30 minutes of Monday Night Raw to push a match that means nothing to anybody anywhere. You have got 6 days until the pay-per-view now. You did not give this match number one contendership. You did not give it any sort of a Extreme Rules stipulation. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't hear anything of that sort. Extreme Rules. More like mild rules. Lackluster rules. Everything that Monday Night Raw is putting out there for this pay-per-view is absolute vomit-inducing trash. Except for the 30-minute Iron Man match coming our way. The way we saw Monday Night Raw tonight, I would be totally fine with them scrapping the 30-minute match for Ziggler and Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship and make it 60. Take 2 or 3 of these matches off the card and give these guys 60 minutes because they deserve the whole entire show. You could have given me 3 hours of Rollins, not Reigns, please, no. Just so, that's the WWE, that's what they do. They've been putting them together to just get you to have that natural, Rollins and Reigns because they were the Shield. And it's affecting even my brain. Seth Rollins, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre. Give me 3 hours of that. I'm fine. They should be absolutely embarrassed. They should be embarrassed of that whole entire show. Coming off of the heels of the G1 special and what they had on Access TV this weekend. Holy God, how can you dare call yourself a wrestling program, a wrestling company, or at the very least, entertainment? You want to call that entertainment? You got Baron Corbin singing nursery rhymes. This is Monday Night Raw. We're singing nursery rhymes now. And not in that cool, I'm so over like The Rock that I can do anything. We're doing it with Elias, who thankfully we got to see this week, but with Baron Corbin, he wants to tell the world, Elias says, I got one guy. There's one guy that believes in Elias. There's one guy that's got my back. I thought he was going to shout me out. I thought he's been listening to the show and was going to shout us out over here. He wants to call out Baron Corbin so that they could sing fucking nursery rhymes. The itsy bitsy spider. Itsy bitsy Balor. This reeks of whoever the fucking idiot was that was in charge of Daniel Bryan and Big Cass. Are they truly that lacking in creativity that they have to go to 5th grade humor and grammar school insults, the bully route in all cases? He's going to pick on the little guy. We're going to talk about his tiny stature. We're going to call him Itsy Bitsy. Itsy Bitsy fucking Spider was sung on Monday Night Raw tonight, and I'm trying not to get mad. Because I should not be surprised. That's the education level of this fucking creative team. They are only about as smart as a group of fucking toddlers. Which is why the best we could come up with is Itsy Bitsy Spider. You have got to be kidding me. This show was a fucking joke. This was a mockery of a joke. I like a good joke. This was nowhere near even that. This show was absolutely disgraceful. Kevin Owens showed up to work tonight to sit on his ass in Kurt Angle's office. I was unaware that Kurt Angle's office even had a fucking chair. And if it does, why is Kurt never sitting down in his office? Why is he always standing up, texting on his cell phone? Every time we see Kurt Angle, it's like, action. I'm texting someone. I am of importance. You got a fucking table and a chair there for Kevin Owens, but you don't have one for Kurt Angle on a weekly basis. All for Braun Strowman to come in and spray him with Lysol. Because he stinks. What? What? We're booking Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens in a cage match. For what? For what? What did Kevin Owens do to Braun Strowman to make Braun Strowman want to annihilate him in a cage? Braun Strowman did nothing. I'm sorry, Kevin Owens did nothing to Braun Strowman to warrant this type of behavior. Now, you want to say, well, Braun Strowman's a monster. He's not going to be friends with anybody. That's fine. Then you shouldn't have had him be all buddy-buddy with Finn Balor. You shouldn't have had him involved in this whole situation to begin with. You shouldn't have him going against Kevin Owens for absolutely no reason in a steel cage. You're doing this just to have a fucking steel cage at Extreme Rules. There are other matches on that could at least use the steel cage. Who cares about this? Do you? I don't. Braun Strowman is going to kill Kevin Owens in a cage. Money in the Bank winner in a meaningless cage match against one of the best guys they got on the roster who they have absolutely no fucking clue what to do with. Kevin Owens is a lost soul. And at least if it made sense, maybe at least at the start of this whole thing, have Kevin Owens do something to really, really piss off or cost Braun Strowman something. As far as I'm looking at it, Kevin Owens has been the ideal person that you would want to have on your team in this situation. He wanted to be Braun Strowman's teammate. He helped him win a tag team matchup. He has been nothing but apologetic and trying to understand himself what the fuck Braun Strowman's problem is. He's getting his car flipped over. He's being dumped in a goddamn porta potty. And now he's being put in a steel cage match. And I need somebody to tell me what he did to deserve this treatment. Because it doesn't make sense. Absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason for Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman or Lashley and Reigns to be extreme. There's no reason for Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor to be taking place at Extreme Rules. Those are 3 matches that I would easily give up just to add an extra half an hour and give Rollins and Ziggler a full 60-minute Iron Man match. This is the closest we have ever come to that original match that we all know and remember, with having 2 talents the likes of a Bret Hart and a Shawn Michaels in the ring simultaneously. You got Seth Rollins, who's been killing it all year long. You got Dolph Ziggler, who is essentially the blonde version of Seth Rollins. He was here first. He's a seasoned veteran. He can get a great match on that screen. He could bring anybody to a good match if he feels like wrestling on that night. And if you want to give him a 60-minute Iron Man match for the Intercontinental Championship versus Seth Rollins at an Extreme Rules, I'll take that. But we have 30 minutes. Why is it 30 minutes? Because we have to see Braun Strowman do something terrible to Kevin Owens in a cage match that doesn't need to be happening. We have a senseless feud between Corbin and Balor that doesn't need to be happening. We have a women's championship match that doesn't need to be happening. You got Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, who there's supposedly some real life heat with. Who cares? I'm not watching this to give a shit about their real life, personal life. And if that is the case and it's translating into the ring, then fine. But it's not. It's not. What are we going to see on Sunday? Alexa Bliss is most likely going to retain the title. They're building her up towards Ronda Rousey. So it would make perfect sense for her to retain the title. Why would you have her lose to Nia Jax if she's going to be fed to Ronda Rousey? Unless you're truly not ready to put the belt on Rousey and you're going to get it away from Alexa Bliss so that Rousey could beat her without any championship implications. Those are your only two choices. But your building of the whole women's division is shit. The women's division itself is shit. What do we get? A repeat match with Ember Moon and Liv Little Miss Trenchmouth Morgan. The girl that loves to blow Smurfs. Who gives a shit? Ember Moon deserves a much better opponent than a Liv Morgan. But there is nobody. Oh, wait. There are two girls on that roster, on the Red brand, that could actually wrestle their fucking socks off. And what did they do tonight? They sat with Dr. Shelby for 3 minutes. Correct me if I'm wrong. Last week, when we came to the conclusion of all the ridiculous shit they filmed for it then, did we not see Dr. Shelby screaming like a fucking moron that their arguing and their bickering was enough and that he had had enough and it was supposed to be continued? To be continued. What happened? Not that I give two shits about what Dr. Shelby had to say, but what happened? We picked up from then with them just back on the couch talking? And then that was it? One small segment of them talking to Shelby. Have they been talking to him all week? Have they even left? It didn't even look like they changed outfits from last week. This is the feud that should be carrying the Women's Championship. Shouldn't be having Dr. Shelby involved whatsoever. It should just be two girls who were friends that are trying to prove which one of the two are better than the other. That's the story to tell here. Not this fucking Degrassi bullshit. I'm not watching Saved by the Bell. I want to see Jesse Spano and Lisa fucking Turtle in Mr. Belding's office. I want to see professional fucking wrestling. These are the two best wrestling girls you have, maybe in the whole entire company. And they're talking to an idiot on a couch. And a giant Samoan woman who can't fucking wrestle a lick, and Alexa Bliss who doesn't want to get hurt and is the female version of The Miz because she's so safe that she barely does anything, which is the only reason why she has Mickie James at her side so that she could do all the work. You all know, if you've been watching me over the last 2 years that I have been on YouTube, you know I'm an Alexa Bliss mark like crazy. But I'm also a wrestling fan. I'm a wrestling fan first before I have loyalty to any one person. I am most loyal to professional wrestling. And if you are going to do something that is harmful to wrestling, I'm going to call you out on it. And if you're going to be the women's champion, and I know it's not her fault really because it's how they're booking her, much like Roman Reigns. It's not Joe Anoa'i's fault that he's being portrayed as such a dumbass. It's not Alexa Bliss's fault that she's being portrayed as such a weak champion, but I'm tired of seeing this. It has to move along. I thought at the very least, all this shit with Nia Jax was over with, and her interim opponent, leading Alexa Bliss to Ronda Rousey, was going to be fucking Natalya, which makes perfect sense because Natalya is Ronda Rousey's friend outside of wrestling, right? So all that made sense. Where did that go? Why are we going back to this ridiculous Nia Jax thing? I don't care how pissed she looked at the end of this segment. And by the way, she's not that good of an actress. So there is definitely something under the surface here. You can kind of sense it between the two girls. They just had a little bit more sass in their attitude when they were looking at each other, making facials, doing all kinds of weird motionings to each other, and you could see just Nia visibly just being disgusted, and she is not that good of an actress to really pull this kind of shit off, so there's got to really be something going on there. Good for them! Good for them. It actually made the end of tonight's segment feel somewhat intense. Like you feel like, oh wow, well, like this is what I've wanted to kind of see from Nia Jax from day one. But it's so far gone at this point that it's too late. It's too late. This is the same Nia Jax that one week is dismembering Natalya's kneecap, and then the next week they're walking down arm in arm as friends. And now you want me to see you as a threat and be all scared because Alexa Bliss whipped you with a fucking kendo stick, and now you're screaming like a maniac. You break a stick over your leg, you throw it, you want to go grab Alexa Bliss and choke her like this, but you don't. So it doesn't mean anything. You got Mickie James pulling Alexa Bliss to the back like, come on, let's go. She's going to rip your head off. For real? Probably not. I appreciate the effort, but it was for what? That is not a good way to build towards a women's championship match. Another women's tag? The only reason Ember Moon and Liv Morgan were not included to make it a 6-woman match is because then, Sarah Logan would have been left out. While we're talking about Girl Brawn and Little Miss Smurf Blower, the Riot Squad without Ruby Riot is more like the Quiet Squad. I wish they would be quiet. Just shut your mouth. Nobody wants to hear you. Backstage with Tyler Breeze at one point tonight. The Fashion Police have a fucking new t-shirt. Why? Why? So that you could actually get on TV to sell your t-shirt? Because that seems to be the only reason why they want to put the Fashion Police on TV. Sitting there hawking t-shirts just for the Riot Squad to come and rip them up and laugh at him and walk away. This is what we got on Monday Night Raw. This is how we are telling stories on Monday Night Raw tonight. Absolute trash. Let's talk about something good just for a quick moment. I want to talk about Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre's main event match tonight. Obviously, that, if you are going to watch Monday Night Raw, is the one and only reason to watch. You can even skip their whole interaction in the middle of the show where the match was actually booked. As good as that was, it did, I feel, run a little long, and it kind of put a little bit of a highlight on just how bad WWE scripting is. Because it just reminded me of when they gave Seth Rollins the Sparkle Crotch line for Chris Jericho. And they were trying to get Sparkle Crotch over for a couple of weeks. So now, my one fear is that you're taking a guy like Drew McIntyre who is just kind of starting to reach a little bit of elevation, just trying to scratch the surface, and you're going to call him a sheep fucker. You got nothing better than that. This is what I mean. It's that lowbrow humor, that fucking juvenile bullshit. You shouldn't be saying things like this on national television, on a cable program. You are insinuating that Drew McIntyre has sex with sheep and goats because he's from Scotland. Nobody sees a problem with that. Were we not paying attention when Jinder Mahal was doing that kind of shit to Shinsuke Nakamura? And now I have to hear it. Just because it came from Seth Rollins doesn't mean it's okay. Right? I just got to throw that out there. But the match they had tonight was the first time, I want to say, in months, Monday Night Raw had a fucking great main event to end the night. I actually felt like I was watching wrestling again. And I'm going to thank Drew McIntyre for that. The guy is awesome. You want to talk about a 5-tool superstar? He is it. He's got everything you need. He should immediately be elevated to a higher status following whatever it is they have planned for him and Dolph Ziggler. I don't understand too much why they even put them together, but it's working so well for them, and I think it's only going to serve as a much hotter launch point for him when they finally decide to break this duo up. If it's going to be over the Intercontinental Championship, will be great. If it's going to be maybe over a shot at the Universal Championship, if it ever comes back to the show. Can you imagine Drew McIntyre with the Universal Championship on his shoulder? I definitely can. The guy is money. Great fucking match tonight. What else happened tonight? Who gives a shit? Oh, we had a tag team. We had a tag team angle. We had Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, the B leaders of Worlds, the B team, doing their copy shit. You know, this reminds me, we were talking about the Fashion Police just a minute ago because of Tyler Breeze. This whole thing with the B team reminds me very much of what was going on with the Fashion Police at the beginning of 2016. Remember when it first hit the airwaves and everybody thought it was so funny? Wow, that was great. That was so funny. And then week after week, they just kept doing it and just kicking the dead horse, making it less and less funny with each passing week because they just flooded you with it. That is what is happening to the B Team's parodying of Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. I'm done with it. Apparently so is Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy's done with it. He came out tonight. He had a match with Bo Dallas, which is the match we should have got last week, but due to Bray Wyatt being in some sort of an automobile accident, WWE Creative just had a complete malfunction in their brain and just hit repeat and gave us Axel versus Matt Hardy again. In this scenario, we had Bo Dallas versus Matt Hardy. Did you really give a shit? Do you really think the B Team is going to beat Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt? I don't think so. I think this whole Cinderella bullshit comes to an end this Sunday. We'll talk more about that on the preview and prediction show this weekend coming. What else do we have? What do you want me to talk about? Huh? Hey, the fucking morons? You know I'm not going to talk about that. We had that for the 4th fucking week in a row. At least this time it was actually a match, Nick. Who cares? Do you give a shit at this point? They failed to build any interest in this match. And if this match on this night wants to serve any purpose, it will serve as an example of why these pay-per-views should not all be co-branded. Because you want to put all this work in week after week between Mojo Rawley and No Way Jose, and you had it have some sort of a finality, kind of, or the beginning of what's to come on tonight's Monday Night Raw. You got a pay-per-view in 6 days. That's where things like that are supposed to culminate. The fact that they have lost sight of that is a very big problem with the World Wrestling Entertainment Company right now. It's one of the biggest problems I have with it. I don't like this co-branded every single month bullshit. It doesn't allow for any time for anything to truly be built. And it doesn't give you enough time on the card to put the matches on the card that really deserve to be there. Not that Mojo Rawley and No Way Jose deserve to be there, but at least in this one scenario, the creative is trying. They're trying something. It's not good. Neither one of these guys are going to benefit, but they're trying. So at least allow it to happen the correct way. You're building for 4 weeks. You got a pay-per-view on Sunday. At least put them on the pre-show. Why not? But no, instead we had to see it again on Monday Night Raw. And for Mojo Rawley to win. So what the hell is the point of No Way Jose? What is the point of him? Awful. Absolutely awful. What else happened tonight? Let's pull up the notes here. Peruse down. I think I pretty much went over everything that needed to be talked about. Here we go. Nobody gives a shit. As we're getting a new subscriber alert right now. Check it out. Oh yeah. Somebody subscribed. Let's see if we can see who it is. Oh! New subscriber alert. This is the first time this is happening as I'm doing a Raw review. Check it out. Eternal Meatball! Just subscribe! That's a fucking great name, bro. Eternal Meatball. Welcome to the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Thank you guys, as always, for being a part of this show. Fantastic. Fantastic. New subscribers. You should be subscribed too. If you're not subscribed, why don't you hit it right now? Maybe you'll be in the next new subscriber alert. Maybe I'm filming something right now while you're watching. You won't even know unless you do it. So hit that subscriber button right now, bro, and you'll see me get the shoulders going. I dance way better than No Way Jose and all his jerk-offs. Anyway, let's get back to business. I'm sorry, you guys. That just kind of took me by surprise. Here we go. Back to this. No, we talked about everything. We talked about everything. Balor, Elias, Corbin, Bobby Roode. Forgot he even existed over the last couple of weeks, and now he's officially a jobber. for being in that segment with the Pull Apart Brawl. Oh, that's what it was. I knew I was missing something. There was another stupid tag team match. Smiley Finn and the Inglorious Bastard versus Constable Corbin and Elias. That was actually a tag team match tonight because they have nothing else to do with Elias, so they have to saddle him with all these ridiculous people. No reason for him to still be involved with Bobby Roode in any way. Nonsense. Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin is not interesting to anybody. That's it. What else can I tell you guys, man? The main event was fucking great. The rest of the show was Monday Night Wrong. As usual. Like I said, we've come to expect it. I tried my best to not get too mad, but there was just too much that pissed me off. I didn't talk too much about Reigns and Lashley because I don't want to. I'm more mad than anything else that they just haven't given me anything new to say. Nothing new to talk about. They have essentially made my show the same fucking show for 4 weeks. I'm tired of saying it. I'm tired of saying the same things over and over and over again. Just thank God. Thank God we had Seth Rollins on this show. Really. Thank you to Seth Rollins. Without him, there's no reason to even watch this show. I actually stopped taking my notes during the Bo Dallas versus Matt Hardy. Look, we started off nice. This was the first hour. I got some notes here. I said everything I wanted to say. And then Bo Dallas versus Matt Hardy. And then the rest is silence, as I like to say, because fucking Raw was an absolute abomination of a television show. And it's a shame that that match at the end of the night even had to be part of this show. I wish that match took place at the G1 special instead. It would have definitely been more welcome over there. It would have fit in better on that card than it definitely did not fit on tonight's absolute trash heap. Boring, trashly. Nobody gives a shit. Definitely not me. Let me know if you guys give a shit. I doubt you do. If you're watching my show, I know you have at least half a brain. So, and you use that, whatever amount of brain power you have, in the proper way. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching and agreeing with me and enjoying my show 110 times more than you enjoyed Monday Night Raw tonight. Absolute garbage, you guys. I can't say it enough. All I can hope is that Rollins and Ziggler save an Extreme Rules pay-per-view that's looking to be absolutely disinteresting. I can care less. Tomorrow night on SmackDown, we apparently are going to have AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. What? What? Why? I thought that was done. I thought Shinsuke Nakamura was on his way to the United States Championship match with Jeff Hardy. Why is he wrestling? I don't know. We'll get to that tomorrow for the SmackDown Live review. Make sure you guys are here for that. The best way for you guys to be here is to hit that motherfucking subscribe button like I just asked you to right now. Hit it. Become a part of the Sledgehammer Club today. Make sure you ring the notification bell so that each and every time an awesome video just like this one hits the airwaves, you will know exactly when it does. Also, don't forget to all of our audio friends that are listening to us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or Podbean, baby. Make sure you get your eyes to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Sledgehammer TV, to take part and to see all the festivities that we do here on this channel. We have the Subscription Box Showdowns June edition, if you missed it, where we crowned the first ever SBS champion, complete with an absolutely beautiful World Championship belt. Make sure you take a look at that. That is only available here on Sledgehammer TV. Also, all of our House of Glory coverage is exclusive to the YouTube channel, so you are not getting that if you are not checking us out here. So make sure you do that. If you missed anything that went up this weekend, I was a busy bee, much busier than the entire Raw creative team, considering what we got tonight for Monday Night Raw, because we had 3 big time videos going up. We talked a little bit about Hulk Hogan's Real American theme song Why did we talk about that? Well, the guy that wrote it had some shit to say about it, and we had to bring the hammer down on legendary rock act Rick Derringer. If you missed that, go check that one out. That's a lot of fun. We also talked about the WWE already making plans for the exit of Daniel Bryan. What did we find out? What were we talking about? And what is our opinion on the whole situation? That video is there as well. All of that and so much more, including my favorite video of the weekend. Eric Bischoff, Eazy-E, Mr. WCW himself, Mr. NWO, one of my favorite people in all of professional wrestling. He doesn't understand the WWE's frame of mind and the way they are booking Brock Lesnar and using the Universal Championship. He actually did a little bit of a shoot as he went on a podcast on Sky Sports. Go take a look at what he had to say. All of that will be linked in the annotations in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Thank you all so very much. No matter which video you are watching, make sure you smash your sledgehammers at home on that thumbs up button. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you let the whole entire world that you enjoy this show and that you enjoy me, and then I will know that you guys enjoyed it. I'm fucking exhausted. It's way after midnight. I waited way too long to fire this one up because they just absolutely sucked the life out of me once again. But I fired up, and I'm here for you guys as always. So make sure you hit that like button, and then as always, share this video with each and every one of your wrestling friends all over the wrestling world so that we could grow one subscriber at a time as we take over the wrestling podcast world one platform at a time. And I reiterate one last time, if you weren't paying attention, we are available on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Radio, Spotify, and Podbean.com. Thank you all so very much. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is Thor, the wrestling god of thunder and the official sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Blue, the snowball microphone, the world heavyweight champion of all the microphones in the whole entire world. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's official Monday Night Raw review for July the 9th. Thank you guys so much for being here. That is going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you tomorrow for SmackDown right here on Sledgehammer TV. Good night, y'all.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.